Before the screams, there was only the grin. In the slums of Wall District 9, a boy and his mother stood at a bread stall, counting coins that would never be enough.
We finally have enough. Today, you eat fresh bread.
Mother, are you sure? What about you?
The flare cut the sky red. Then the wall came down. A 12-meter titan walked into the market, stepping over the rubble with a smile that froze the blood. It reached down with a slow hand. It picked up a woman in a patched dress. Riku could not move. He watched the titan's jaws close.
I have to remember every detail of that face.
A scout in a green cloak yanked him into the rubble. Captain Hayato dragged the boy away from the footsteps that shook the earth. In the ruins, Riku sat motionless. The titan's bloody footprints were visible through the broken wall.
That smile, it wasn't like any titan I've heard about. It was almost human.
When night fell, he found a candle stub and a scrap of wood. He started to draw.
The eyes, the curve of the mouth, the way the skin pulled tight. I have to get it right.
Outside, Captain Hayato watched through a shattered window. The boy drew with desperate precision.
He's not just a survivor. He's a hunter in the making.
Riku remembered his mother's gentle smile, the moment before the red flare burned the sky. He clutched the coin pouch. It still smelled faintly of her.
If I join the scouts, I can hunt titans. I can find that one.
At first light, Riku rose. He walked past the corpses and headed for the scout training grounds. At the cadet intake, Riku signed his name with fingers that still held charcoal dust.
They see a scrawny slum rat. But I have already memorized the face of the thing that will die by my hand.
The first drill was a run. Riku fell behind before the first curve, his lungs on fire.
Gutter, trash. You will be titan food before you ever hold a blade.
Daichi. I will remember that name too. Every face that laughs at me.
On the ODM wires, his frail body betrayed him. He spun upside down, tangled and useless, while the entire class laughed.
You cannot even stand. Go back to the slums where you belong.
Push-ups in the mud. Riku's arms gave out after 8. Daichi stood over him and laughed.
They do not know the weight I carry. They have not seen a smile freeze on a dead face. I will draw every titan I see. I will find the one with that smile. No one will stop me.
While cadets drilled, Captain Hayato found a worn sketchbook forgotten on the mess hall table. Inside were titan anatomies, nape weak points, footprint patterns, and a grinning face he recognized.
This is the boy from District 9. He's been studying the enemy with a soldier's eye.
That night, Hayato found Riku alone in the dark equipment shed, still clutching a piece of charcoal.
You have the eyes of a hunter, but eyes alone won't kill a titan. I'll teach you the blade if you are willing.
Why would a scout captain waste time on a cadet who can't even finish a run?
Because I was there when that smiling monster took your mother. And you are the only one who remembers.
He corrected Riku's grip, adjusted his elbow, and showed him the angle that splits the nape clean. Weeks later, in cold moonlight, Riku's wood blade bit into the dummy's nape for the first time.
One step closer. That smile will shatter under my blade.
The other cadets mocked Riku's constant sketching. Daichi decided mockery wasn't enough. He cornered Riku in the barracks, snatched the sketchbook, and poured a bucket of water over every page.
Let's see you draw your way out of this, slum rat. Maybe now you'll actually fight.
He thinks water can wash away what's burned into my memory. I will redraw every line.
By dawn, the smiling titan's face was back, more precise than before. Captain Hayato found the new sketches the next day, ink still damp on the detailed diagrams.
He recreated everything in one night. This boy's resolve cuts deeper than any blade.
Where did these anatomical studies come from? The detail is extraordinary.
Weeks later, Riku's diagrams hung on the briefing wall. No name attached. He didn't care.
They can use my work. I will use them. The only face I need is the one that smiled.
In a private ceremony, Section Commander Erina draped the green scout cloak over Riku's shoulders. His classmates were not present.
You earned this with more than muscle. Your mind is now a weapon for the scouts.
Daichi, in the shadows of the barracks, crushed his own unissued cloak in his fist, knuckles white. Days later, Riku stood on the outer wall, a full scout, staring into the wilderness he had once only drawn.
Somewhere beyond these walls, that smile still walks. I will find it.
The expedition moved through tall grass, silence thick as fog. Then a 7-meter titan burst from the trees. Riku's body locked. His ODM wires went slack. For one breath, he was 9 years old, again in the market.
Riku, move, or you are dead.
He forced his hand to move, pulled out his sketchbook, and drew the titan's face while comrades fought around him.
Not that smile. Not yet. But I will know every face until I find it.
Over 3 more expeditions, Riku sketched 27 different titan faces. The twisted smile he hunted was never among them.
They aren't random. Some titans appear near slum districts. Others avoid certain routes like they're being herded.
In the dusty archive, he spread out a map and circled every report of unusual titan behavior.
You've barely eaten. What have you found?
These titans don't wander randomly. Their paths avoid the interior patrols. They only hit the slums.
That's not natural. Titans don't think.
Then someone is using them.
Riku pulled out a faded report from 5 years ago. A titan with a human-like smile was sighted near District 7's slums. The Corps dismissed it as an isolated anomaly.
The same smile. That's not a coincidence.
If titans could be sent to slaughter the poor, he would find the hand that gave the order.
I never told anyone this, but I saw a titan near a slum 5 years ago. It stood still, watching, then walked away. It had no reason to spare anyone, but it only smashed empty buildings. I always thought it was wrong.
Then you've suspected too. We need proof. Something that ties these titans to a human order.
If we start digging, we make enemies. High ones. Are you prepared for that?
I've been preparing since the moment my mother's blood hit my face. I'll tear down whoever is behind it.
Then I am with you. We search together, quietly.
That night, they pored over district maps, cross-referencing sightings with slum clearances.
Every slum in District 9 was hit within 1 year. The smiling titan appeared at 3 of them.
It's not just a titan. It's a weapon. Someone chose those districts.
Now we hunt not just a monster, but the men who sent it.
3 nights later, Hayato picked the lock on a restricted archive room deep inside the military wing.
We have minutes. Find anything labeled Chimera or controlled.
Riku's fingers found a file stamped with royal insignia. He pulled it into the lamplight.
Project Chimera. The name alone tastes like lies.
The document detailed controlled Titan release trials with coordinates matching District 9's slums.
It's a kill order. They marked the slums for culling.
Riku pulled a small camera from his jacket and photographed every page.
This is enough to confirm, but not enough to expose. We need more than a redacted file.
We need to catch them in the act. A live titan with a handler or a corpse carrying something official.
So we hunt the smiling one again, but this time we dig the blade into whatever human heart is beating behind it.
Riku overlaid sightings with slum clearances. Every attack matched a district marked for thinning.
It was never random. The government used a smiling monster to slaughter the poor.
Hide that map. If they find out we know, we won't live to use it.
The map is just ink. To expose them, we need physical proof, something from the Titan itself.
Proof like what? A military tag? If they're smart, they leave nothing behind.
The smiling Titan has been active for years. It might have a mark.
To find that mark, we'd have to kill it and search the corpse. That's not a mission. It's a death wish.
Then it's a death wish I've been carrying since the day I saw it.
Hayato started to argue again, but Riku's face left no room for discussion. The investigation stalled. Without confronting the beast directly, their evidence was just theory. A week later, a man in a decorated uniform stepped onto the briefing balcony. Commander Jiro watched in silence when the discussion turned to Riku's Titan maps. Jiro's cold eyes narrowed on the young scout.
That man didn't come to observe. He came to measure a threat.
Your diagrams are thorough. One might think you are tracing something beyond Titan biology.
I study patterns, Commander. Anything else would be negligence.
Jiro said nothing more, but a thin smile, colder than any Titan's, crossed his lips. That night, Riku found his sketchbook moved, pages slightly out of order, and a single golden thread on his pillow.
They searched my things. They know I am hunting more than Titans. This thread is from a royal military coat. Jiro left a warning or a challenge.
The game had changed. Now, Riku wasn't just searching for a monster. He was being hunted by the men who created it. At dawn, Erina gathered the intelligence squad. A new expedition would push deep into the forest, beyond District 9's old slum zone.
The area was once marked for clearance. Recent signs suggest Titan presence still lingers there.
Riku saw the map. The circled zone matched every sighting of the smiling Titan he had ever charted.
Jiro is sending us straight into the mouth of the beast. He knows.
After the briefing, in the armory, Hayato pulled Riku aside before anyone else could hear.
The coordinates came from Jiro's office. It's the exact location where the Chimera document placed the controlled release.
Then it's a trap. But if the smiling Titan is there, we can finally get the proof we need.
Or it's a clean way to lose 2 inconvenient scouts in the field. No witnesses.
Riku stared at the blade in his hand, the same model that would one day carve the smile from that face.
This might be my only chance. Trap or not, I am going. I am going, Hayato. This is the only way to get the proof we need.
We should defect now, before they silence us. Walking into their trap is suicide.
If I don't face that Titan, I'll never find the physical proof. The insignia could be on its corpse.
You'd gamble your life on a chance. The Corps won't back us if it goes wrong.
My life was gambling from the moment that things smiled. I won't run now.
Fine. But we go with an escape route mapped. If we survive, we defect immediately after.
By night, they packed extra blades, dried rations, and a marked map of the wilderness beyond the walls.
This mission will end one of 2 ways, with that Titan's head or mine.
I promise to protect him, but he's leading us into the belly of the beast.
They shook hands in the dark, sealing a pact that would either expose the crown or bury them both. The expedition pushed into the deep forest beyond District 9's ruins. The trees stood dense and silent.
Every shadow could hide a Titan. My blade is ready, my eyes searching for the face that has haunted me.
A red flare hissed into the sky. Then the first Titan burst through the canopy, roaring.
Maintain formation. Don't break rank. We can take them if we stay together.
A 10-meter Titan lunged at Riku. This time, his body didn't freeze. It moved on, trained instinct.
The angle that splits the nape clean. Hayato's lesson burned into my muscles. I can do this.
Riku flew behind the Titan, blades spinning. He slashed the nape with a surgeon's precision.
I killed my first Titan alone, but the smile I came for still hasn't appeared.
Hayato dragged a wounded scout from a steaming hand. The squad had lost a third of its men.
The smiling Titan is still out there. This ambush was just the beginning of Jiro's trap.
That night, camp was silent except for the wounded. Riku's eyes refused to close.
I can't wait until dawn. The smiling Titan is close. I feel the weight of my mother's blood pulling me forward.
Riku slipped into the dark forest, his steps light on the moss. Hayato, sensing movement, followed without a word. 100 yards in, Riku stopped cold. The earth was torn open in a line of massive indentations.
They're fresh. This Titan passed here within the hour. The coordinates we were given lead directly to this place. Jiro sent us here to be silenced. We need to turn back now, before dawn, while we still can.
If I run now, I lose proof. I lose my mother forever. That Titan is close. I won't back down.
This is suicide. I can't watch you throw your life away.
Then don't watch. But I will walk into Jiro's trap if it means getting the proof that hangs around that monster's neck.
Dawn bled through the canopy as Riku followed the footprints into a misty clearing. The trail ended at 2 massive, motionless feet. Riku's eyes traveled up the giant body to the face. The smile was unchanged, frozen in that same human-like mockery.
It's you! The same face that stole my mother. I remember every detail.
Riku, wait. It's motionless, but that's no reason to engage recklessly.
I've waited years. I won't wait another breath.
Riku fired his ODM cables into the trees and launched toward the Titan before Hayato could grab his cloak.
Riku, stop. You don't know what you are walking into.
This smile ends today, for District 9. For my mother. I'll carve the proof from its corpse.
The smiling Titan turned its head slowly, as if waiting. The wide grin never wavered, and Riku, blade raised, flew straight into the smile he had drawn 100 times. The Titan's hand swept down like a wall. Riku twisted midair, wires singing and slipped past its fingers.
Every dodge answers my mother's scream. This monster moves, but I move faster.
Riku dove low, blades extended. He sliced clean through the tendons behind the knee, and the giant stumbled. The Titan collapsed to its knees. Riku fired his cables upward and shot toward the exposed nape.
The angle Hayato taught me. It splits the nape clean. This is for you, Mother.
He plunged both blades into the nape, a single scissoring cut. The smile that unmade his world tore open and died. The massive body crashed forward, shaking the forest floor. Steam erupted from the gaping wound.
It's over. The face that haunted me for years is finally silent.
Riku stood on the nape, blades dripping, steam curling around his bloodied knuckles.
Now, to find the proof. The insignia must be somewhere in this steam.
Riku dropped from the nape into the steaming carnage, shoving aside dissolving flesh with bare hands.
Bones, half digested. People, just like her. The proof has to be here.
His fingers closed around a small, worn leather pouch. The embroidery was still visible. His mother's initials.
Mother's coin pouch. The one she held that morning. It was inside this monster all these years.
Riku, look. Under those ribs, something metal is reflecting the steam light.
Riku reached into the dissolving mess and pulled out a golden crest, the royal military insignia, half melted but unmistakable.
The royal seal. They branded their own weapon. They sent this thing to slaughter the slums to thin the poor.
This is it, the proof that ties the government to the smiling Titan. Jiro's Project Chimera is real.
Riku closed his fist around the insignia. His mother's death had been an order, not an accident.
The government armed my nightmare. They will answer for every name this monster erased.
Riku met Hayato's eyes. No words were needed. The insignia in his fist said everything.
We can't go back to the core. Jiro will have us killed the moment we report this.
Then we don't go back. The escape route we mapped, we use it now.
Hayato nodded, then pulled a flare gun from his belt. He fired a false distress signal into the sky to mislead the expedition. The 2 scouts turned their horses east, away from the formation, into the deep forest behind them. The expedition's commander shouted orders, but no one followed. They were already ghosts. Riku and Hayato rode hard through the trees, the sound of pursuit fading with each mile. That night, in the capital, Commander Jiro received a coded message. 2 scouts were missing. The Titan was dead. Jiro crushed the paper in his fist. The boy from District 9 had slipped his trap.
They will come for us, but now we have the truth, and we will make it burn.
They made camp deep in the mountains. The royal insignia and the coin pouch placed on a flat stone between them.
Mother, I found your purse. It still smells of the bread you bought me that morning.
He remembered her smile just before the flare. The last human warmth he had known. Then the grin replaced it, tearing her away. Riku's fingers dug into the dirt as the memory burned.
I killed the monster. But the real enemy is still sitting on a throne, writing orders in other people's blood. Revenge isn't enough. I have to expose them. Make the world see what men like Jiro do in the dark.
Hayato sat across the fire, blade still, watching the boy he had pulled from rubble.
You've changed, Riku. Your eyes aren't just cold anymore, they're burning.
Because now I know, and I'll make sure the crown's secrets don't die with us.
He tied the insignia around his neck, next to the pouch. The weight of proof rested against his heart. Dawn light caught the distant walls as Riku turned in the saddle for one last look.
District 9. I won't forget. I'll return with the proof to burn their lies to ash.
The royal insignia spun at his throat, catching the rising sun. A cold smile touched Riku's lips, the first since that morning in the market.
We ride east. There are people beyond these mountains who will listen.
First, the world must know the truth about Project Chimera.
He urged his horse forward, the coin pouch and crest bouncing against his chest. Hayato followed, 2 silhouettes against the dawn. Far behind, the walls faded into the mist. Ahead, the unknown. And on his neck, the proof of a kingdom's sin gleamed, waiting for the day it would speak. On a flat stone, the coin pouch and the royal insignia rested together as the sun climbed over the mountains.
I will make them remember every name they erased.
The rising light caught the embroidered initials on the pouch. Imar. Then it struck the insignia, scattering slivers of gold across the stone.
Every name. District 9. The slums. My mother.
His shadow fell over the stone as he knelt and picked up the pouch.
This is only the beginning. The crown will learn what happens when they turn a beggar into a hunter.
He pressed the leather to his lips once, then tied it again around his neck beside the crest. The sun crested the peaks. The 2 objects blazed against his chest, and the screen faded to black, the glint of gold lingering a heartbeat longer than the light.